What's up, y'all? Thanks for stopping by my channel, Esteemed Queen and Mentality. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to let me know that you are here. And that way you get to also know when we have all of our tea talks, okay? Be sure that you head over to our warrior community for our entrepreneurship webinars, for our book club meetings. We're about to start a new book, y'all. And our unboxings and miscellaneous reviews, all that type of jazz. Go over there and see all that type of stuff. So it is allergy season, and I'm praying for y'all. Make sure y'all take advantage of that link I put in my last video for the humidifier. It's working for me. It's worked wonders. Because you know, the drier the air is, it takes out of your skin as well. So I got me a little sun-kissed tan going on. And yeah, I've been out in the yard, y'all. I've been having a good old time in the yard with my pet child. So it is that season, so I hope everyone's doing well. But hopefully y'all pray that all this get together. But anyway, get y'all water, get y'all wine, or whatever it is that you sipping on. Miss Sass. Now, for the ones back home in Virginia, you know you country, and you sipping your out of a mason jar, okay? But I like it, you know. I can measure whatever I drink if I want to. If I want to. And if I don't, I don't. But also, just to let y'all know, these are great in the yard. If so happens like you were to want to put like the little lights and stuff in them, like what I have, put them in here, put them in the backyard. If you're gonna be out at night in your yard or whatever, all that. I've been putting lawn furniture and shit together. It's been crazy, but you know what? I've been loving it. So anyway, I just want to take a little time to come and have a little tea talk with y'all in the treehouse. So excuse me. Let's talk about something, okay? It came up in our book club meeting, okay, about the book that we're reading. And so we need to tea talk about this. When it came across to me, as you saw the title, when it came across to me when this conversation was had, this topic was being had over the couple of chapters we read in our book, it was really fascinating to me because I never looked at it like this, but it was definitely a turning point for me and my mental, because when you know more and you know better, you do better. So we need to talk about fault versus responsibility and then some. A lot of people don't understand that one is able to be a bridge across for you to get to another. I did a video on burning bridges like a minute ago, maybe like a year ago. And I had said that burning bridges is kind of like, you know, you using a cheap lighter to you using a Bic. You know, one of these is going to rub your finger raw and the other one is going to catch it the first time. Needless to say, it's almost the same, it's almost parallel to that video. This one will be, okay, because fault and burning bridges is very much parallel to someone taking ownership and responsibility and seeing that sometimes people burning their bridges can be great for you because you're able to take advantage of the waterfront view. You know, it's crazy. At one point, like people back home know this, you know, where the Monitor Merrimack Bridge is, there used to be a college campus on that property, and erosion has made it so that you can tell by where the posts were in the water, in the ocean, where how far the dock used to be out for people to fish on. And erosion has completely pushed it back a good 40 yards. You feel me? So that kind of goes hand in hand with what I'm going to talk about and how I'm going to talk about it and what I'm going to make this parallel to. like I said, I did a video on burning bridges a minute ago. And like I said, depending between two different lighters, one is going to rub you raw and the other one is not. It's going to be easy peasy. You're going to have people that are going to test and try you, being a cheap lighter, and you're going to have people that really, it's just going to take one time or one little thin piece of thread, honey, and it's all gone. Don't come back, don't pass go, collect $200, go straight to jail. You feel me? So fault is the same way. Responsibility, the whole entire concept is all the same way, because one heals and the other keeps you on a constant wheel. People are very interesting. When I was growing up, my brother used to always used to tell my parents, like, oh, well, it was an accident. So that way he can get less severe ass whoopings should he act like he was ignorant to what he was doing. But he was well aware. And instead of just being open and honest and being like, I did this, I did that, and just take whatever's coming, it was a thing of, well, if you just tell us the truth, you'll be okay. We'll work through this. No, player. Let me be at fault. Oh, they slinging me across the room. But let my brother not, quote unquote, be at fault and not take responsibility. Y'all damn near get him anything he want, including some oatmeal pies and a day from school, and be like, it all is good. But that was a really good point in place for me mentally to back up and realize a couple of things. And I definitely realized that when you take responsibility, it definitely heals you. It definitely helps you put things into perspective. Sometimes we just need to vocally say one time, maybe two, what our truth is about something, regardless if that's you admitting to what you've done wrong, or you just coming clean to whatever it is that you just did not know. You take an accountability, you take a responsibility. There's a power that comes from that, because now that you know more, you can't say you don't know at all. You feel me? So now that you know more, you have more control over what it is that you do have freedom to do, that you do have, possession of. It's real interesting when you take care of a little bit, how much more you will receive from the universe. And fault and responsibility work hand in hand with that, because if we always say something is not our fault, if we always say I can't be accountable for this, then it gets to a point where, well, what are you accountable for? It's just like if you go and you set up a water bill account, and so happens if they come turn your shit off, are you gonna say it's not your fault? I think it is. The responsibility behind it was when you activated that account, you were responsible for making sure it was paid financially and fulfilled on a monthly basis. And the moment you default and breach that contract, they have the right, by your fault, to turn your shit off. Now you wait until the next day it rain, and you waiting with a sponge and some Dawn soap, thinking that you know what I'm saying, you about to get a free shower. No, you should be shamed. That's what it should be when it comes down to it. And then, believe it or not, let me tell you a way that people disqualify themselves. Queens, kings, princesses, and prince men, chicken childs. Okay? When someone blatantly does something that they know is against whatever it is, or opposed to whatever it is, and then they be on some stuff like, oh, well, I didn't know this, that. How do you not know? How do you not? You didn't get an inkling, a feeling? You didn't get what? So you just walking around here just as numb as a damn gnome, and you just doing stuff? Like, make it make sense. People who say they're not at fault for anything are typically the people you need to disqualify out your circle. Because there's no way you walking around here off the titty, sipping whole milk, and you decide to say, well, it's not my fault. What you mean? What you mean it's not your fault? What's not your fault? Well, what happened? Well, what do you mean what happened? Because see, if it's not your fault, you wouldn't even have been there. So what do you mean it's not your fault? Explain to me what's not your fault, but you're not telling me you took responsibility and attendance to be there. Make it make sense. I'm just that type of person where it's just like, when it comes down to someone trying to wiggle their way out of something, as an adult, you better have a damn good ass an excuse. A damn good one. Like it gotta be damn near to the point where I can picture it like in my head happening. You know how detectives go to crime scenes and they react the scene to be able to get an understanding of what could possibly happen? Yeah, I'm that detective. You know? So when people, that's one thing I've learned. When people say they were there, but it's not their fault, then whose fault was it? Because if it's not your fault and it was done against you, then you need to have a police report. You need to have some type of documentation that lets me know if you were the victim. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Come on now. But the ones who do take responsibility, they do come through. They do come through, and they come through with change actions and change perspectives. They go hand to hand. Just because you can talk don't mean that you can walk. I don't mean no harm, no pun intended. But that's really how it is. But if you can talk and walk and walk and talk, then you understand that when you come into a place where you're secure in yourself, you're secure in, you know, you being able to be a person to understand how to mentally elevate to a higher equal, you know, to a higher vibration, so that way you don't have the same situations, the same lessons keep reoccurring. That's a person you need to keep in your corner, because that's also a person that has some humility to them too. People who have fault, a child, you talking to a child and the spirit fingerprint, all finger paint all over the place, but they the only kid with finger paint on their hand. They the only one. Everybody else is like they just woke up from a nap. But this one child with paint on their hand smeared it everywhere and then said, it's not my fault. I'm confused. I'm confused. You know, but that's how people think. I honestly believe that it has a lot to do with maturity inwardly in order for people to see it outwardly. But it takes a mature person to be able to know the difference. So, y'all let me know what y'all think down below. Be sure that y'all like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell down below, so that way you get to know when we have all of our tea talks. And girl, I was sitting here thinking I was saying 2 different sentences in my head at one time with one voice. But nonetheless, I'm okay, y'all. Just be sure that y'all like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification. Too much sun. Hit that notification bell down below, so that way you get to know when we have our tea talks. I will be heading over to our warrior community later on this week, so that way we can get updated with the unboxing from Hair Affinity, as well as have our book club meetings. Until next time, wash your hands, including your thumbs, bitch, and I will see y'all later. Bye.